See, these are not birds, these are fucking bats. Dude, if you can't have a good time in fucking Australia, you can't have a good time. Except for this one dude right here. He's not having a good time. Look at him. Ah, there he is. He's having a good time. Okay. I want to play you the national song of Australia. It sounds like construction. Sydney is a city that's growing. And everywhere you go, it's constant construction. You're going to see buildings being rebuilt. You're going to hear the sound of jackhammers. They do a real clean job of the way they kind of wall off the construction. But pretty much everywhere you go during the day, you just hear the sound of jackhammers and trucks and concrete. It's loud. It's really loud. Okay, so one of the things you're going to be wondering about is how you plug your stuff into the wall. The outlets are different in Australia, and they're different than in the UK and a lot of other places. This is one of the plugs. It's sort of like you know, they're kind of opposing each other. You can get these adapters, and the hotel will sometimes give you adapters, and sometimes in the bathrooms you'll find these plates that have. Now remember, this is 220 volts. But sometimes they'll have one that's 115. This one's also 240. And don't forget, there's also a switch, a toggle switch or a light switch that turns the socket on. And when you plug something into it, it may not operate immediately. So you could take your regular American plug it into an adapter like this, plug it into the wall, and then don't forget you have to turn it on in order for it to work. So you can get the adapters at any travel place. Just make sure you get the Australian one. But if you're going to a hotel, they will sometimes give you some. They gave us like 3 of them. Now, just to make sure that the thing that you're plugging in is 240 or 110 adaptable. Sometimes there's a little switch on there, like on a hair dryer or something like that. There'll be a little tiny switch that you've probably ignored your entire life that switches from 110 to 220 or whatever. But most power adapters that you're going to find, like for your computer or for your phone, if you look closely on the descriptions, it'll say 110, 220, 240, whatever. And then all you have to do is use the little adapter so that you can plug it in. Now, if you can get some adapters really cheap before you come, that's great, because if you go to the local convenience store, they're going to charge you like 20 bucks to get one. So try to get one before you come. But like I said, we haven't really needed to buy any because the hotel just gave us plenty of them, and all of our things were adaptable to 240. So that's going to help you on your trip. And also this one plug for 115 volts, that came in really handy too.
Stripes, 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 stripes.
All right, so you're probably going to need some cash. Now, instead of going to the airport currency exchange and paying $10 or $20 to get some money, you can just take your normal bank card to any ATM and just withdraw some regular cash. They're only going to charge you a small fee, like, you know, $3 or $4, like any other bank would. And you can just get regular cash, and this is great for Americans because it's 70 to 80% on the dollar, and you get your real money's worth. So don't go to the currency exchange and spend a bunch of money on getting some cash. Just go to the ATM machine or go to a real bank ATM. Don't go to one of the little supermarket ones or some weird thing on the street. Those things might rip you off. You can trust the bank ones. So like, for instance, you withdraw, you know,
$300 of Australian money, and then you'll get a charge for like $220. By the way, they also call their money dollars. They're not pounds. They're just regular dollars, except they're different colors and shapes.
Stripes.
Here's something you're not going to see in America, a goddamn payphone. When is the last time you saw a payphone in the United States? Okay, so naturally I would be in a DeLorean. I would find one of 6 DeLoreans in the entire continent of Australia. I'm here with Luke and we're in his 81 DeLorean. We're driving around King's Cross. He was just telling me about this area. And this is some of the stuff I wanted to talk about in my version of the Australian touring video. King's Cross is like sort of like Amsterdam in the way that there's a red light district. Apparently, like I need to find out what the exact laws are, but apparently there's legalized prostitution of some sort.
There is, yeah. It's not that I have any first-hand knowledge.
No, of course not. But no. Just from rumors.
So I've been told.
I've been told. Now, what section? Now, have we already passed all the really good stuff?
We have. Or? That was pretty much it.
That was now.
We'll loop back around.
What we missed in the video here is when we stopped at the stoplight. This girl. Now, of course, we're in a DeLorean. This girl, whom I'm assuming was working. Stopped what she was doing to come over and press her bare buttocks up against his window, which was a nice sight.
That is true.
It was nice, and she was wearing a nice leopard print outfit, which was awesome. I recommend if you can go to the red light district in Sydney, do it in a DeLorean because you're going to get much more attention. So we're going to loop around, and I'm going to give you a quick shot of a little bit of King's Cross. All right, here we go. The giant Coca-Cola sign, which is rather iconic here in King's Cross. You know, that's very Times Square, and that's pretty cool. So it kind of gives you an idea of the vibe of what's to come. You know, another thing I wanted to talk about is there's a general feeling of safety walking around in Sydney. There's no place that I've been that I felt unsafe. There's really not a big problem, I think, with pickpockets, purse snatchers, muggers, robbers. It's very, it's very gentle, friendly place. You know, I don't feel like anybody's gonna mug. No, first of all, nobody's gonna shoot me, and nobody's gonna stab me because nobody has a gun or a knife, except a sushi chef. Yeah. So I haven't been anywhere where I felt ganged up on or anything. So I think it's out of a lot of places I've traveled, this feels very safe here. Now, obviously take precautions, when you're traveling, hide your cash, keep an eye on your wallet, that kind of thing. But, it's not like when you go to a lot of these other third world kind of countries, Asian countries, where some guy's going to drive by on a Vespa and snatch your phone or your purse and run off and punch you in the head. I don't think that's a problem. But no. A large fruit bat may come and take your phone. That could happen.
Or your children.
That's not such a bad thing. There's a cockroach over there. I just saw a guy walking a spider on a leash. Now, I was joking around about the bats. There are giant fruit bats the size of, like, dogs. They're the size of eagles, and you'll see them flying around, and they're kind of creepy. They won't hurt you. But you were telling me about some kind of bird that will... Magpies?
Yeah, absolutely. Magpies. So... we like to joke with Americans and tell them there are drop bears and there are dangerous creatures everywhere, but I was really trying to warn some American friends about magpies, and magpies will attack you during the breeding season.
So this is like a raven. It's like a big...
It's a black and white bird. Yeah, it looks a bit like a raven, but it's got white patches.
I gotcha.
And if you walk past their trees during breeding season, or even on a bicycle, especially, they target bicyclists, they will attack you, and I've literally been bleeding from the ear one time when I got attacked by one. And anyway, my American friends thought I was winding them up. So they didn't
like the old drop bear myth.
So they got attacked, so sucked in.
Yeah. And some of the pigeons and these other long-billed, what are those long-billed birds called? Those?
Oh, the ibis. We call them a bin chicken.
Bin chicken, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't seem to be, they're not too much of a nuisance, but I will say that a lot of the birds, pigeons, seagulls, they follow you around looking for food.
Oh,
but that's not such a big deal. Showgirls. Okay, so the other thing that's really important to remember is they have in Sydney called the lockout law. Okay, so beware of this. The lockout law is at 1:30 If you leave a bar, you cannot get back in, and you can't get into any bar after 1:30. This was something that they put together trying to keep people from going too crazy. But just be aware of that. So 1:30 a.m., if you leave the bar, you can't get back in, and you can't get into any bar. So make sure you are in the bar of your choice by 1:29, and don't fucking leave till they kick you out. So,
It's true.
that's true. A really cool place to check out. It's in Woolloomooloo. It's Untitled. Now, how you find it, there's a big battleship over there. I'll show you a shot of that in a minute. This is Harry's Famous Pies. And what is this thing called? It's called the
Hot dog to wheels.
Hot dog to wheels. Now, a lot of celebrities have been here. They got pictures of everybody who's eating here. Hopefully they'll put my picture up on the wall. And their signature thing with their hot dogs is they put mushy peas. Okay, so mushy peas are just peas like that have been mushed. And by the way, when you're down here at night and you look up, you see these giant pterodactyls flying around. These are bats. I'm worried that a bat is either going to run away with my hot dog or poop on it. Let's try, it comes with a spork. I've never gotten a hot dog in my life with a spork. And I've never also had a hot dog that has peas on it, and chili, and onions. What is this white stuff? I'm afraid to ask. Oh, it's like guano. Okay.
So graceful.
Holy shit, it's spicy. What is that red sauce?
It's chili.
It's chili. God damn, it's hot. They didn't warn me about that. I gotta scrape some of that off. That's hot. It doesn't suck. It's a good hearty hot dog. This is a meal. This is not a snack. I'm not gonna be able to finish this. But anyway, if you're over in the touristy area of Circular Quay, over by Opera House and the wharf, this is only like literally 1 mile away. But it's kind of twisty and turny. So if you get an Uber or a cab, just tell them where you want to go. What's this battleship called again?
Woolloomooloo Naval Base.
Woolloomooloo, Hammonett Naval Base. And you'll find it. But this is one of those places, like when you go to LA and you got to go to Pink's Hot Dogs, or you go to New York, and you know, it's one of those kind of places where you got to go, where all the locals say, oh, well, you got to go have a hot dog. Okay, one of the other trips you got to make on your underground trip through Sydney's Frankie's Pizza on Hunter Street. Just look it up, Frankie's Pizza. Now, this is where rock bands come to be seen and to see others. This is where all the punk rockers hang out, heavy metal. Now, you're gonna find it funny that when you go to the bars here, number one, at 1:30, they kick you out, or they don't kick you out, but if you leave, you can't get back in. They have a lockout law, so if you leave after 1:30, you can't get back in, and after 1:30, you can't get in. Once you get inside, you're gonna find that you're only gonna be served in plastic cups. Why? Because people will kill each other with the glass. Can't have any glass. But this is a place, take a look around. I mean, it's old school punk rock style. It's a pizza joint, it's a dive. It's a lot of fun. And check your schedule because they do rock and roll karaoke. And you know I had to get in on that.
We love you, Videobob. That was fantastic. Here we go. Oh, fuck. This guy knows what he's doing. He fucking knows what he's doing. Oh, shit. I feel very confident about this already. Judas Priest, breaking the law.
You never know who you're going to run into here at Frankie's Pizza. So make sure and check that out. It's definitely a must-do for the rock and roller in Sydney.
Stripes.
I don't even own a striped shirt. Are they stripes?
Stripes.
Stripes. Everywhere. Our one place that metalheads have to go if you are in Sydney is Utopia Records. This is the home of metal here in Sydney. This is where you get your vinyl, your patches, your t-shirts, your records, your signed collectibles, all your little cool little doodads, all the rock and roll, heavy metal stuff. This is where a lot of metal bands come and do record in-store signings. This is where you find out about concerts, pick up your local zines. This is the place for metalheads like us to come check it out. And a lot of really cool bands have been in here. The guy that was running the place was telling me about how Pantera came and did an in-store signing here back in the 90s and stuff. Warms my heart. A lot of love for Dimebag and Vinny and Pantera and Hell Yeah and stuff in there. Saw some of my stuff in there too. Saw my Hell Yeah DVD that I did Below the Belt and Dime Vision, some Hell Yeah records, things like that. A lot of collectible old Pantera stuff. So they really love the whole Dallas metal scene and the American metal scene. A lot of amazing stuff in there. So there's all kinds of things you'll find in here, from masks, costumes, shirts, jackets, vests, patches, all sorts of collectibles of all kinds. So definitely something that you got to check out if you're a metalhead. Utopia Records in downtown Sydney. Just look it up. What's your favorite show on Discovery Turbo?
Screen Machine.
That's right. It's mine too. All right, so one of the tickets you can buy from the big bus hop on and off is you get all 4 attractions if you pay for one. Now the attractions are all here at the wharf, not all of them. You got the tower. Wharf means warehouse at the waterfront, in case if you didn't know that. And what you'll get is 4 tickets, one for the tower, and the other for the Wildlife Zoo, the aquarium, and Madame Tussauds Wax Museum. So it's a beautiful view. Might as well jump on the bus and might as well get the ticket. It's a heck of a deal. Also, you can visit Madame Tussauds Wax Museum. Look, it's the Queen. Make sure to visit the aquarium where you can see all the craziest of Australian sea life, including this bloke. Keeping the windows clean. You can also take a boat ride, check out the penguins. It's nice and cool in here too. Actually have real ice. You're waving at the penguins? Another cool thing you can do at Wildlife Sydney Zoo is you can meet a koala.
Their cognition is not the greatest.
She just called you stupid.
That's okay, they don't need to be smart. They just have to eat eucalyptus and sleep all day.
You can also visit crocodiles. Now, I'm not going to go in there and pet this one. We'll take a picture.
Be my guest. Go ahead, hop in. I dare you. Look at the size of this guy.
Stripes.
What do you think, honey?
One of the other stops you can jump off the bus is come up to the top of the tower and have a look down on Sydney. There's a lot to see.
This is Luna Park. Great bridge. It's a bit suggestive to me. I'm not sure what's going on here, but I don't know if I like it.
And of course, Bondi Beach. This is definitely one of the stops you're going to want to jump off on the bus. And this is the setting for, you know, their own version of Baywatch called Bondi Rescue, a TV show that they filmed here. Bondi Beach is one of those must-stops. We just had some great fish and chips. Now we're going to check out the scenery here at the ocean and some bikini action. If you're crazy enough to go swimming here, Bondi, all you need to know is to stay between the flags. They put these like orange and yellow flags out in the little sections where the ocean is the calmest, where you can safely swim. They move the flags around throughout the day, so you want to stay in between those flags. The other places away from the flags where the surfers are going to be, because that's where there's a lot more surf. So always stay in between these flags if you're going to actually go into the water. Me, I'm probably not going to go in the water today. I don't usually dress for the beach. I usually dress like I'm going to a heavy metal concert.
That's what those are about. The red and yellow flags tell you where you can swim because everywhere else the riptide is too strong. So the riptide is okay over here, but not over here.
There you go. If you don't want to go into the actual ocean, you can come over here to this little wader pool that they have sectioned off. Still get a little ocean water on you without having to go out into the ocean. You'll also notice that you won't see people on their phones out here. No one's on their phone. You know why? Because there is zero internet out here. You won't be able to connect to anything, which is pretty much most of Australia. There is no phone signals out here. People might be taking pictures or maybe listening to music, but they are not on the internet. Something that is different from America, for sure.
Stripes! Let's just sit here and listen to the wonderful sound of Sydney, Australia. So calm and serene, quiet and enjoyable.
Dueling jackhammers earlier.
Stripes! 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 Stripes!